People could be in love with you and they may not realize it. And honestly, it's as important for them to know they love you than to really love you, right? Because a lot of the times when people are not aware that they love you, they ruin the relationship and end up realizing they love you once they fucked up and once they broke your rules. So when I say they fall in love when they break their own rules, what I mean is that falling in love is not really falling in love because you fall in love before you realize it, right? But once you realize you fall in love, all of a sudden your brain begins to bombard you with images and feelings and memories of them, which are exaggeratedly positive, that will cause you to feel even more in love. But the longer they go without realizing that they love you, it's just how can I say it? It's almost like the sooner they realize they love you, the quicker things can progress in a positive direction. So that's why you will only realize how much you love them when you break your own rules, right? Why? Because it causes cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is in this case is what we're going to be using, right? Because usually people think that people realize they love you because of the feelings. Actually, no. People realize they love you because of their actions. They say, "Wait a minute, the fuck? Am I really doing this for this person?" Or like, "Yo, I just texted them 10 times and called them 10 times because they didn't respond to my text in 6 hours. Yo, what? Oh my god, I really love this person." That's how it works. And then all of a sudden, they they literally start to treat you differently. So in this video, we're going to talk about how to do that because it's highly important. By the way, if you're dating someone and they're following their own rules and you want to be able to have them break their own rules, well, book a one-on-one coaching call with Father Alex, and there you'll be able to have a one-on-one call with me. And then you can tell me the situation. I can show you how to literally get someone to break their own rules for you. And a lot of times it's risky, but the reason why it's risky is simply because you just don't understand why this works. So talking to me will give you the clarity and the calm mind to be able to apply these, because at the end of the day, sometimes you just need to know why it works, right? You just need to know why you're doing this, and coaching call with me will clear all of those things up. So if you're dating someone and you want them to prioritize you, then book a one-on-one coaching call. We have 10, 15, 30, 45, and 1 hour sessions. By clicking in the description down below, I'm available most of the days, not evenings, but I'm pretty flexible. All right. Anyways, click in the description down below to work with me one-on-one, or else they're going to leave you. Let's continue with the video. When people experience cognitive dissonance, they feel a psychological discomfort to holding two conflicting beliefs or behaviors. To reduce this discomfort, they often change their attitudes or beliefs to align with their actions. In other words, if they have steadfast rules and they break them for you because of the moment, because they want you so much, because they in that moment they really want you, a lot of the times in the context of love, if they break their own rules for you, they may rationalize this behavior by convincing themselves that they must truly care about you. In other words, this strategy allows people to pretty much do the dirty work for you, right? You let their minds come to the conclusion that they like you. You don't try to tell them, "Do you love me?" You don't try to convince them. You don't do a spinneroonie. You just put them in a position where they have to break their own rules to get back with you. You leave them no other choice but to break the rules, and you could call that almost like it's almost like a test. You get me? And this is honestly, it's actually very true, man. If you really want to test whether or not somebody loves you, put them in a position where they have to break their rules. Or they say they'll never double text, put them in a position where they have to double text. Or they say they don't chase, put them in a position where they have to chase. I don't care. Don't believe the words that people tell you about, "I don't do this, I don't do that." It's like it's kind of girls that say, "I don't do that type of stuff," right? Yeah, when you don't like the person, but when you like the person, you start to notice that you break your own rules for that person. And the literal act of breaking the rules causes their brain to convince them that they like you. In other words, literally, they start to propagandize for you. That's the purpose of that. Them breaking their own rules makes them realize and come to the conclusion that they must love you as a result. Okay? And unfortunately, when we tend to meet people, we tend to see the opposite, right? When we meet people, people have higher willpower, follow the rules more, right? And this tends to intimidate you because you're sensing boundaries, and that is really attractive. Okay. The problem is that this following of the rule is simply because they just don't like you enough to break them. So two things have to happen. Either they have to break the rules to backward rationalize that they like you, or like you enough to break the rules. The point is, breaking their own rules of the game will cause them to actually fall in love with you a little bit faster. You know why? Because of one simple thing: emotional investment. When people are truly emotionally invested in someone, they prioritize the relationship over their own rules and principles. So if they strictly follow their own rules and principles, it just means they still don't have an emotional investment in you. The emotional bond has to be strong enough that it overrides their decision-making processes. In other words, they regress. It's like an addict who goes back to their drugs. They start to not think straight because their compulsion to use their drug is so strong that it overrides rationality. And this is when people start acting crazy. This is when people start acting super romantic. This is when people start fucking hiring mariachi bands to get you to go out with them, right? And anytime I get a client that tells me that the person that they're seeing has steadfast rules that they don't seem to break, I don't tell them it's not because they're principled. It's just because they just don't like you enough. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why it's important for them to realize this through their actions is because a lot of the times the love that we feel for people gets suppressed. It's almost like an addict when they're addicted to a drug. A lot of addicts don't know that they love you. I mean, they don't know that they're addicted. Like, they really don't. They convince themselves that they're not addicted to the drug. So a lot of the times when people fall in love, it's not that they fall in love, it's that they realize they love you and the emotions intensify, right? Once they realize they love you, the emotions they have for you will become intensified. So that's why it's important to get them to sacrifice something for you, to get them to break a rule for you, so that then they can realize this. But if you don't make them break any rules, they may love you, but they may not feel it. Like you gotta realize the body and mind are not connected. A lot of people, they don't have a mind-body connection. So they may love you and may not realize it. And then they may take you for granted and it may ruin their relationship, right? So that's why your goal should be to get people to break those rules for you. Your goal should be for people to sacrifice something for you. And the first thing they want to sacrifice, their time and those dumbass rules that they have, right? Once you see that, that's how you know that you've infiltrated their minds, right? Now, there are other reasons why this is so powerful. It's because of the emotional investment, right? Emotional investment, okay? When people are emotionally invested in someone, they prioritize the relationship over their own rules, right? And like I said, it has to be one or the other. They either love you and they break their rules, or they break their rules and they realize they love you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you cannot love someone and follow the same rules for them as you have for somebody else. I call this, you got to corrupt them, right? Corrupt them. In other words, make them break their own rules, okay? The emotional bond becomes so strong that it overrides their usual decision making. And so that's why when people are acting rationality equals not a lot of emotional investment. By the way, people, calm the fuck down. I know I misspell a lot. I'm not here to make perfect writing, okay? So that's one thing. Now, the next thing is the reciprocity, right? Let's put it right here. It's a hard. Follow how to spell. Shut up. Reciprocity, right? People often feel a sense of obligation to reciprocate the love and care that they receive from people. So this is why sometimes I prefer to make the first move I prefer to be the first one to double text. I prefer to be the first one to make mistakes. Why? Because I want to see whether or not they're willing to also reciprocate, or I want to see whether or not they're also willing to keep their own rules or reciprocate. Right? If somebody likes me and they see me breaking those rules, they're gonna break the rules. So the point is, you want them to break those rules, the rules of engagement that we all have, and those rules of engagement are very simple. Don't look desperate. Don't look desperate. So everyone is trying their best to not look desperate. So what you want to do, and this only works if it comes from a place of confidence, if it comes from a place of being willing to walk away. Your neediness will not hurt you if you're willing to walk away. Because at the end of the day, if you're needy and they think you're needy and you walk away, you walking away is going to make them say, okay, I got this person wrong. They were not needy. And they end up going back to you. So don't be afraid to open up to people as long as you're willing to walk away. It's actually because you're saying, hey, you know those silly rules we have? Break them. You're encouraging them to break the rules. So there's nothing wrong with double texting as long as you're willing to walk away, right? Now the next thing is that people have a desire for approval, right? The need for approval and acceptance from people that we like leads people to break their own rules. They might do this to gain favor, show commitment, or avoid conflict, right? And this shows you that a lot of the times, this is why it's important to have boundaries. But also, it's important to understand that this is why these strategies work. You might say, wow, well, like, they told me that they never double text, or they told me they never go back to cheaters, or they told me that they never do this. Who gives a fuck what they tell you? I don't care if they say they never double text. I don't care if they tell you they're bad texters. If they like me, they're not going to be that bad texters no more. There's just no excuse for them to say, oh, you know, they're usually, if you don't show interest, they leave. Okay, let's find out. The rules don't apply when they like you, right? And the next thing is perceived specialness. Perceived specialness. When somebody loves another person, they often see them as a special and unique person, even though they're not. This perception can justify breaking rules because the loved one is seen as special. It's like, yo, this chick, man, she be doing that thing in the bedroom, man. I can't let her go. You know how some guys will break the rules because they're just so attracted to them, right? And this is why I tell you, if they're following my rules, if you think they're doing the game, they're following the rules, what that says is that they don't like you enough to break them. This is why for example, people laugh when I say this, but when you make somebody pay a price for leaving you, for example, and I tell you guys, make them like, right? The reason why that is because if somebody does that, when they're home looking at the fucking ceiling, they're gonna say, yo, I must really like this person if I did that for them. Like, I must really like them. Making them pay a high price, even if they're doing it because they're desperate to see you, for example, will make them convince themselves that the only reason why they did that is because they like you. For example, it's like people who are in cults, right? A lot of times cults ask for a lot of money or a lot of sacrifice. Like even Jesus said, I'm not calling Christianity or cult, but I'm just saying, even Jesus says, sacrifice everything, give everything up for me, right? And you might say, why would somebody want to join a cult that makes them give up all of their money? Well, because by them giving up everything and them feeling peer pressure to give it up, when they're alone, they're going to say the only reason why I gave this is not because I'm being manipulated, but because I truly believe in this. Making them pay a high price will make them convince themselves that they actually love you. Right? Now imagine if you take them back and you don't make them pay a price. They're going to backward rationalize that you're not as valuable as I thought you were. Because if you were actually valuable, you would put up a fight. If you were actually valuable, you wouldn't let them come back that easily. You understand that they have to start from square one. You understand that you have to give them the perception, or at least the illusion, that they have to win you back over. And we've all been there where we like them, we disrespect them, and they don't say nothing, and we like, wait a minute, this is literally back of rationalizing. You're like, wait a minute, I thought they were confident. They let me cheat on them with their sister? What the fuck? And then you literally start to see them differently, and your brain will literally say is that if it's this easy, it ain't worth it. And when you feel like it's not worth it, then you stop valuing them, right? So that's why it's important when somebody fucks up, make them pay a price. You might say they don't, like I tell people, make them lick your ass, for example. If they fuck up really badly, and they want to come back, make them lick your ass. And yes, but they would never do something like that. They say they don't lick ass. Exactly. If they like you, they're gonna break the rules. It's almost like every guy's nightmare is a guy mugging them, going like, suck my dick. You're like, oh fuck. You're like, oh damn, oh this is tough. Like, you're gonna have to shoot me, my brother, right? So it's kind of like, how much do you want me? If you really want me, you're gonna do the things that you don't want to do, because that's the price for me. And the act of paying a high price for something, it's like when you shop for things, right? Studies show that paying a high price for something makes you think that the thing was worth the price. So if somebody pays for coaching and it's very affordable, me making coaching more expensive for them will cause them to actually follow through on my action. And you know what's the only difference? Is the price. They'll say, yo, if I pay this much money, then his advice must be that good. And simply because of the price, it causes them to rationalize to take more action. Right? Don't let people come back when they fuck up that easily. Make them pay a high price. You might think they may not do it. Don't sell yourself short. Sell yourself high. Make them work to get your validation. Don't make them feel like it's easily earned. And one of the ways you show people that you're not easily won over, it's how you treat other people. It's like when some women say, oh, he's an asshole to everyone, but not me, right? They find that attractive because it makes them feel special. It makes them feel like they're able to tame this person, right? So make them pay a price, people. Make them break their own rules, and you'll notice that people will fall in love with you quicker.
So a lot of you guys have been asking me, how can I purchase all of your courses in one go? Well, if you guys want to purchase all of them, you guys can join the Mindful Attraction University, people. Yeah, that's right. And in this, you'll be able to access all of my courses for $3.99. Initially, if you purchase all of my courses, Emotional Mastery, Psychological Game of Attraction, my new course, The Feminine Woman, Natural Chemistry, Charisma Blueprint, Nice Girl, you guys can purchase all of it for $600, but with the bundle deal, you guys can purchase it for $3.99. Or you guys can purchase it in 3 easy payments of $125, people. Yeah, that's right. Or you guys can purchase it with the bonuses. So not only do you get the courses, but the bonuses. And that comes down to $7.99 or 4 easy and mindful payments of $199. Now, these bonuses are not regular bonuses. These bonuses are legit, almost like courses within a course, right? So you guys can just click on the description down below and explore the types of bonuses. For example, I have bonuses on how to get over your ex, how to become more creative, how to, especially in the feminine woman, I have a bonus about how to penetrate the mind and how to speak in a way that gets people to do what you want them to do. Like, it's honestly one of the craziest sections that I've ever made, because most of these courses, people, I come up with those ideas in meditation retreats. Nobody goes to the extent that I go. I go to meditation retreat to create these courses. There's a 14-day money-back guarantee. If you don't like it, just ask me for the money back within 14 days, and I'll give you all the money back. Father Alex has never rejected a money-back offer if I offered it. So, and if you guys already purchased one of my courses, for example, and you guys want to get the bonuses while getting a discount, you know what I'm saying? I have discount codes for people who purchase my courses. So if you purchase my courses, just send me a private message. Or if you work with me one-on-one, I'll give you a big discount for the courses. And there I can help all of you guys. Understand that this is a movement. Most people never knew this type of knowledge before. And I am trying to empower women across the world and liberate them from these negative and one-sided relationships through these courses. So hopefully you guys can spread the message and help other people out. And I'll see you guys inside. Or else I'm close to the